Chapter 4, From Awakening Humanity. Telepathic Relationships. A month later, on January 10th, 2021, I had been thinking about Martha during the day, wondering about her statement that her name was not pronounceable in my language. If the translation of her name was a problem, then how was it that we could communicate? If her name was unpronounceable, then wouldn't everything she tried to tell me be unintelligible? I also wondered where in the universe she was from, and if she and her people would ever make physical contact with me, or Earth in general. The next day, on January 11th, 2021, I woke at 4:30 in the morning and lay there wide awake, but mentally relaxed. To my delight, Martha appeared in my mind with all the clarity of her previous contact with me. Without introduction, she began to answer my questions from the previous day as though I had just asked them. She said, "All communication is vibration that extends from your mind outward through your thoughts. Words must first form as thoughts before they can be spoken. Telepathy is simply non-verbal thought. But we must be on the same vibration in order to send and receive to one another. The only way you can receive me now is because your mind is in a vibrational state that is close enough to my own, one that is high enough or the most non-resistant. This idea may seem fearfully intrusive to you, and that there may be concern that others may somehow unwantedly invade your mind through their connection to yours. Overall, you must understand that no one need fear negative energy or attack thoughts from anyone else. You can only be reached if you decide to be a vibrational match. Even so, such thoughts directed towards you by others cannot truly affect you, as negativity cannot extend or give anything of itself. Only love has the power to extend itself and thus has the ability to give. However, if you happen to perceive such negative thoughts in another, you can choose to release their vibration the moment you sense it. You do this by extending only your loving thoughts, which always raises your vibration. You will then be completely out of reach by any such unwanted communication. Therefore, the toxic thoughts of others cannot poison your mind unless you believe that this is possible. This also works the other way around. If you want to communicate telepathically with me, for instance, you must be in a state where you are receptive, which is a state of mind that is completely resistance-free or resting in total peace and tranquility. As for our differing languages, yes, my people do indeed communicate with external vibrations, much the same as you do with speech. However, our language is more akin to the sounds of your dolphins and whales than human words. There is no word for my name in your language. You had to feel which one was the closest match. My name needed to be interpreted by you as vibration you could put into a word. You offered me your interpretation as the name Martha, and I agreed it matched my vibrational personality correctly. All beings who are self-aware, meaning they can comprehend a power greater than themselves from which they were created, have what you could call a universal translator. This translator is bestowed upon all self-aware beings and literally translates thoughts between creatures so that communication can go undisrupted despite any language or physical barrier. Do you notice how we can communicate though we do not speak the same language, and neither are our bodies physically near one another? The universal translator is not bound by the physical laws of time or space. You have a name for this translator on your planet. You yourself call him the Holy Spirit. He is not only your communication link between yourself and your Creator, but also between each other, as well as those from other worlds. You have even used it yourself to communicate with animals and plants. I listened carefully to all this, then asked, "So are plants and animals self-aware? Do they understand there is a universal creator? Because I have indeed, on occasion, been able to communicate with both animals and plants telepathically with undeniable success." Martha replied, "They are not self-aware to the extent that you and I are, but they do have spirits that go on from their existence in the physical. The union you share through the Holy Spirit with all living things is what gives you the ability to link with them in mental communication. Though they do not possess the spiritual awareness you may have, in some ways they are more advanced than you. They understand that they are not their physical nature. On a subconscious level, they know that if you cut down a tree or eat their physical form as sustenance, they are not truly harmed and do not feel murdered or angry over such acts. They know that their physical form is not who they are in truth, though this does not affect their surface desire to strive to live and procreate, which is a physical drive. What is destructive is any wanton suffering or needless waste associated with your treatment of them, and these acts are only destructive to you, not them. Destructive in that loveless acts merely beget loveless experiences. Energy is always extending from you and reflecting back to you more of what you give." "Understood," I replied. "Now, what about my question regarding where you are from?" "I am from a place as yet unknown to you," she replied. I couldn't accept that answer. "Could you please try and show me somehow, so that I have a general idea?" Martha responded by propelling me into a vision. I could see the Earth, which zoomed out to show me the Milky Way and our universe. We zoomed out further, past many more galaxies, solar systems, and whole other universes, until at last I was shown a beautiful green and blue planet that looked very much like Earth, but with different landmass shapes. It felt far away indeed. "Okay, I think I understand. Thank you," I told her. "Now, can you tell me if we will ever meet in the physical? Will your people ever openly visit Earth?" "Such information cannot be given to you at this time," Martha replied, "not because it is a secret, but because some of it is still unknown, and some information has to be carefully considered before it can be revealed. We must always consider if the information will help or hinder you. We will never reveal anything prematurely that will hinder your developing spirituality and delicate understanding of reality." "What do you mean by delicate understanding of reality? Why is our understanding delicate?" I wanted to know. "Because you are in transition from your current understanding of reality to a new understanding, and to reveal too much now could push you into panic rather than joy," Martha replied. "As just one small example, you do not live as though you understand that physical density is but one way for you to exist. There are many levels of physical density. For example, my people are only semi-physical. We are currently moving from one stage of density up to the next, which is why you can see light within my eyes. My spirit shines from within through my semi-physical state. Each level becomes less dense as you move upward in vibrational frequency, and each level of density has its own reality to go with it. In this sense, you and I do not exist in the same reality. I must lower my frequency to meet you in a halfway place. Not only are there multiple densities, but multiple realities or dimensions inside and outside time and space. I'm not presenting this information to intentionally confuse you, but rather to set an example of why it is difficult or can be untimely to share certain pieces of information." I understood and couldn't wait to hear more, but at that moment, without farewell, Martha disappeared. However, this time I didn't have to wait long to reconnect with her. To be continued in Chapter 5, Our Eternal Connection.